Hello guys, welcome once again back to the channel. Joffrey Noodle Legs here today with another noodle film review in our 80s Forgotten Classics week. And we're looking at a cop film tonight, 1980s cop film starring Charles Bronson, and it's called Murphy's Law. Now this is the awesome 88 films version of the film, which it contains an amazing slipcase and a really cool booklet, which is really cool. Now this is a really cool sort of cop movie with a sort of black humour to it. It stars Charles Bronson as Jack Murphy, and he's sort of like a cop that's in all these sort of cops sort of films like Lethal Weapon, Dirty Harry, all these sort of films. These cops all seem to have troubled lives and troubled backgrounds, and Jack Murphy is a fan of the old drink. Because he's been going through a bit of a rough time, he's with his wife, but we'll get to that in a minute. And the film sort of like starts off and he's kind of like out shopping, getting some food, and he gets his car hijacked by this young girl, young kid sort of girl who's sort of like hot-wired his car, and he sort of chases it down. She didn't get very far with it. She crashes it into a shop, and she sort of legs it, and he runs after and catches her, but she manages to escape him and get away. And sort of like we sort of see him at this crime scene where there's been a murder the next day under like this sort of abandoned bridge. This woman's been murdered, and the evidence points to a sort of the son of this like head of like a criminal gang. Anyway, he's got the evidence about who's killed this woman, and he approaches the this sort of gang leader and tells him he's got a warrant for his son's arrest. Anyway, we sort of cut a bit into the film, and we see him going home, and in his letterbox at home he's got divorce papers from his wife as they are being divorced. Now she is a kind of stripper dancer, and which obviously he doesn't like at all. Anyway, he's at the police station, and I think one of the police officers saw her at the strip dance place, and he gets a bit angry and knocks him out, which is pretty cool. But then we see him like at the strip show, and he's sort of like following his wife about a bit because she's now got a new boyfriend who's like the owner of this strip club. Anyway, he keeps turning up there night after night because he's not happy with it. And while this is going on, we've got another little story starting with some other woman arrives in like a Greyhound sort of coach into town, and she's don't know, she's interested in Jack for some reason, and she's after him. First of all, she meets up with a guy in a park, a private investigator who is there to give her the phone numbers of Jack Murphy and that, but she ends up killing this private investigator. She shoots him in the head. So she's obviously some criminal, and she calls Jack Murphy up and says, I'm after you, I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to make you pay first, and sort of hangs up. And there's a storyline going behind sort of Jack's storyline, so all this sort of thing going on. And then we see one night that Jack's still following his wife and her boyfriend back to his apartment, but in the back of his car is this woman, and she knocks him out. And when she knocks him out, she then follows his ex-wife and boyfriend to their place, and she's got Jack in the car next to her. She then takes his gun out of his holster and shoots down his wife and lover dead. But obviously now it's going to frame Jack Murphy because it's his gun. And then she sort of speeds away in the car, and one of the neighbours gets the registration of the car and stuff like this. And then he gets arrested. Charles Bronson, he gets arrested for the murder of his wife and lover, and he says, "Well, I mean, maybe I'm innocent." And then they sort of come back with a check with a gun, that the gun's is definitely his. It's a matching gun that killed these two. So he's in like this sort of like holding jail, and he's sitting next to the girl that he did for the theft of his car, and she's like a sort of like a sort of an anarchic sort of teen girl, and she's like having to go, how's it feel like being in prison, sort of thing. And they're sort of padlocked together with a sort of like long chained handcuff. Anyway, he starts winding her up, calling her gay and all this sort of thing, and she really cheese off, and they start fighting. But it's a plan, because then the police officer comes in to stop it, and Jack steals his gun and knocks him out. And eventually they escape the police station. They get to the roof, and Jack manages to be able to fly a helicopter. And so he flies this helicopter across California at night, escaping him. And all the while this is going on, you've got your typical sort of 80s sort of cop music going on, like Lethal Weapon, stuff like that, which is awesome. And they escape. And they land on this barn, and this barn is a drug den. Anyway, so they managed to get out in all these sort of situations happening. And this woman is still following them. This other woman is still following them. Eventually, they arrive at one of Jack's old police friend's house. This black dude, I don't know what his character's name, but he's a really cool guy. They end up there, and Jack sort of unconscious because he's just sort of like, he's got concussion. Anyway, he fixes her up, and the girl and Jack handcuff each other. So she still sticks around though. The next day he wakes up and all this sort of thing, and then they sort of both leave. And then the woman that killed his ex-wife and lover turns up at this black dude's house and kills him. So who's this woman? What is she after? She's obviously something to do with Jack Murphy's past. Is Jack Murphy going to prove that he's innocent, that he didn't kill his wife and that? And while this is all going on, earlier in the film, I forgot to mention, they stumble across the gang leader's son that's trying to leave the area by the airport, and the big chase, and he shoots the son shoots one hostess in the head and stuff like that. Anyway, Jack guns him down. So now this criminal gang are going to be after Jack too, because of the killing of the son of the leader. And the leader's mum says, I want this cop dead, and all this. So there's going to be a story behind that. So there's all these people after him, and he's trying to clear his name. Is he going to do it? Who is this woman? Are we going to find out what this is to do? And are these two, the girl, the thief, and Jack Murphy, are they going to team up to help prove his innocence? You need to watch it and find out. What do I think of Murphy's Law? It's awesome. It's definitely one of Charles Bronson's best movies. I do love Charles Bronson. I love him in Death Wish. I love him in 10 to Midnight. And I love him in The Magnificent Seven and films like that. And I love him in this. It's a really cool film. The pluses of this, the transfers is criminally, insanely good. It's so cool. And this edition is really cool. The slipcase, if you could feel it, it's so nice. It's such a high quality slipcase, and it's brilliant. And the booklet that comes with it it's not a little flimsy book. It's actually quite a thick book that sort of comes with it, with loads of sort of like pictures and stuff from the movie and characters, and it's really, really, really cool. And behind the scenes shots, really cool booklet. So it's a really good edition from 88 Films, and it's got a few extra features in there, interviews and all kind of things like that, which is really, really good. The The cast is brilliant, really cool film, really well acted. It's got some gore in it, which is really cool. A lot of these sort of cop films do, especially if you've got the ones with the 18 certification. So this is a more sort of like a darker kind of cop movie, you know. So there is some gore in it, some killings, obviously, and there's two sort of stories that are going to combine together. It's just such a cool film. Negatives, there's none. It's just a brilliant cop movie. So I'm going to score this an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. Really cool film. One of Charles Bronson's best films, I think. And it's really, really cool. Murphy's Law, 9 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you thought of it. He's such a cool actor. Yeah, he's very sort of stereotypical, you know, like Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry. You know, he's very, very, you know, every film is sort of almost like the same character, but it's great. It's such a cool film, and he's such a good actor, and he's so convincing, and he's so cool. You know, he's such a cool looking guy. Doesn't seem to break a sweat or anything. He's so cool, and I love that. I think that's really, really excellent. Really great film. So that's it. That's the second film in our forgotten 1980s forgotten classics. So we're going to end the week with a sort of bizarre comedy film. Yeah, I'm not touched horrors really by this week, and it's going to be on Arrow Video, and it's going to be Weird Science. So that's the one we're going to look at last this week. So that's the last one in this forgotten classic 80s films. So we're going to check that out in the next video. Look after yourselves, guys.